What is up, everyone? We're back in the garage today and we're going to do a how-to install video for a, what is this, a disc guard for a 2022 Husqvarna FC350. We went with the blue Tusk disc guard. It's going to go on right here. Let's hop into this. First thing, you need a 32mm socket to take off the hex on your axle. So we'll go ahead and crack this guy off. Cool, set that aside. Wiggle your block out of here. There you go. Set that to the side. Then, let's move you out of the way real fast. Then we're gonna push the axle out while supporting the tire, of course. There you go. And over on this side, it's gonna push out your axle block as well. Support your tire. Pull your axle out. There you go. Set that somewhere where it's not gonna get dirty. And then push your wheel a little bit forward. Pull your chain off. Like so. And you slide tire off. There you go. One thing to note, make sure you have your inserts stay in your wheel. There you go. That's what I'm talking about right here. You got one insert there, one insert there. So when you take your tire off, make sure those stay in the rim. Now that we have the tire off, you can see all the gunk that just collects in here. So now's a great time to grab a rag or a towel or something and just wipe all that out. There you go. No more dirt, no more leftover grease. We're good to go. Now you're gonna need to pull your brake line out of these clamps. It just pulls out. It's easy. You could probably do it with it in, but it's just easier with it off. And then you can slide your caliper or your caliper mount off of this little groove here. So it just slides forward, pulls out like that. And then it's free floating, so we can put on the blue guard. Then you're gonna grab your 11mm wrench. You're gonna back this nut out so that it comes out of the mount bracket here.
Was it easier than when you came back? Her mom's like, check your base open. Apparently it was is on lockdown due to a fire. Just lock the base up right here.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
There you go. There's your old bracket. You're gonna need to reuse this little clip right here and this little rubber grommet that holds all the grease in for your piston in the back for this little guy right here. And make sure your brake pads stay on. So you're gonna take this little grommet out of this little hole right here, and it's gonna get installed in this top hole. I'm gonna use Bel Ray waterproof grease. Make sure your fingers are clean. A brush is ideal, but I don't have a brush. We're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of grease inside here. Seal that off. And take your grommet, and it goes in this top hole. Just like that, so you can see it. There you go. So it's sealed, and we got grease in there, good to go. Just because I have it torn apart, I'm gonna wipe down this little push rod right here with the old grease. Make sure it's clean. This has nothing to do with your brake like internals. It's just like a guide pin, but lube this up with some new grease, because this is going to go inside that boot that we just greased up. Alright, and I put too much on there. Don't put too much. Okay, now you're going to thread that screw right into here, and that piston's going to go in there. Okay, so make sure your caliper stays in there. Actually, I lied. We got to transfer the brake clamp over to the top of this. So you got this little clamp right here. It should just pull off. You might need a screwdriver for this. Let me go grab a screwdriver. And pry this off if I can. Come on. There we go. So we got our clamp on. Open end, obviously, to the open end of this. Or this, because this is your new one. See how they match? Snap this in. If I could get it, that would be cool. Alright, I'm gonna go grab pliers and make this a little bit wider. Alright, so I grabbed pliers and just opened up one of these tabs a little bit wider so it would fit. There we go. Snapped in, and it's not coming off, it's not loose. So we're good there. Alright, now you can grab that rod. The rod's gonna go into there. Make sure your brake pads go into the bracket that we just installed. Easier said than done. There you go. Alright, so that little groove is for this one to slide into for the left side. Of course, it's being a pain in my ass. Alright, let me fight this and I'll show you when I'm done. I found it easier just to remove the brake pads, which is just a little rod that you pull out of here with the clips, and the pads pull out, and then you can tighten down your nut and get it in here, and then when you need to put the pads in, you can just move the caliper left and right. I'll try to show you what that looks like. So I don't know if you can see this, but I got it pushed all the way to the inside, and you can slide the brake pad in, and then you'll push it to the other side, or you don't really even need to push it. Just put the other pad in, and then we'll put the pin in. Here's the pin I was talking about. It goes on the top side of this. It will slide. You gotta line it up with the holes, but there you go. Slide through that one. Slide through that one, and then you should be able, there you go. So slid all the way through the head side on the inside, and then that's where your clip will go. One clip goes on the inside. There's a hole for it. There you go, one clip, and then this little guy will slide through here. Let's put it this way. There you go. So see how the heads are holding on to the caliper. We go through the push rod. There you go. Now we have it installed. So let's put it back on the bike. Same thing as last time. We're just gonna slide that groove. Make sure your brake line's good. Slide it over this groove. Pull it forward. There we go. Now we can pull our brake line back over. Snap it back in. There we go. Our brake line snapped back in. And this thing's installed. So you got your brake line all snapped back in. This bolt is tight and you don't have to like smoke it down, but it needs to be tight. You're locked into, where'd it go? There it is. This groove right here, you're gonna insert it here and slide it down, which slides your caliper back. And then to put, the rod will go through here. Make sure you got one snap and two of the snap cotter keys snapped in here. Push this back in because I just pulled it out. And this is how we're looking so far. The blue will look good. So now we're gonna grab some of your grease. Grease up your axle. Make sure you don't have any dirt on this thing because you don't want dirt to be rolling around inside your axle. And it'll start to create grooves inside your axle. So you want to keep this as clean as possible. I would recommend gloves, or at least make sure your fingers are very clean at the very least. And I'm actually going to clean the outside of the caps on the wheel, and then we'll install this. So we cleaned a little bushings right here. I'm going to lean this up against the bike for now. And then we're going to take our grease and our axle, and we're going to apply grease onto the axle. You don't need a lot, but coat the whole axle. This is going to be spinning inside of the bearings that are inside of your rim. So we want it nice and lubed. There we go. Perfect. Wipe your finger off so you don't get grease all over your rim. Now's the difficult part because you gotta get this thing into the caliper and your axle in as well. There we go, put that to the side. Wiggle that in. There we go. We're going to lift this up. Make sure your disc goes into your caliper. Like that. Slide your axle in. Make sure it's good on this side. Go. Make sure it's flat. Put my grease away real fast. There we go. My chair. And then we'll slide this forward. and I missed the disc mount. Make sure you go through your disc guard. Wondering why that was so goofy. All right, cool. Did I get it? There we go. I did it the right way. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So you got to make sure you go through this. I had it sitting forward, so this came out of my caliper, but make sure you go through that. It comes on this side, and you can put your axle block in, and then your nut, and we can tighten this down. Now that you got it through, you're going to start your chain on the bottom of the sprocket. You're going to work it up. Try and push it forward a little bit if you can. Of course, as I say this, it ain't working. You can back out your axle block a little bit so you can get a little more flex. There we go. Boom. Now you can back your rim back out, push it back over your nut. You're good to go. Let's put the nut on. Okay, axle block with the tooth facing forward and the recess out, because this is where the nut's gonna sit. It goes in there. Grab your nut. There you go. Put that on, and then let me go find the torque spec and we'll do this. Okay, now we have our chain put on, everything installed. This is still a little bit loose so we can push our axle forward. I'm gonna put my leg on the back of the wheel. I'm gonna push it forward, make this hand tight. We're gonna put our 32 socket back on here. This is 49 foot-pounds. So set your torque wrench to 49. There we go. And then break it again. You're at 49. Set that over here. There you have it, guys. That's how, sorry for being all bumpy. That's how you install your Tusk disc guard. Looks pretty good. Sturdy. Looks beautiful. I kind of wish I would have gotten the red one. Kind of like accent like some of the red on the bike, but overall, looks good. We'll check the brake. Works good. Alright. There you have it, guys. That's how you install a Tusk disc guard. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're probably gonna do some truck parts next. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.